of the Tar Heels. Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Wendy. St. Peter's, they are very confident with their backcourt of Lee and Banks.
A fun game to do and to watch and just enjoy.
North Carolina controls the tip. We're underway in Philadelphia. UNC knocked off UCLA in the Sweet 16 Friday night, 73-66. St. Peter's, the surprise win over Purdue. Spin, BACOT, defense, Rupert, the department, 28 of them this season.
But on a terrific roll. The key in their defense is finding
to the Elite Eight. They're the first team out of the MAC to get to the Elite Eight. Now Defo fumbling
the shot. They're comfortable with that trip, especially with that pick and roll up front. Real high pick and roll for Carolina outside.
Terrific move to the Lee contested, and it bounces off the rim. Get it ahead for Black. Nadefo, one of the premier shot blockers. Foul is called. Nadefo averages just under 3.
Plenty of times Nadefo keeps his body away. I don't know about that one. That looked pretty clean.
Free throw line.
We'll see a bunch here and also posted rebounding, and you know they have to get to the offensive glass. Here's one right here.
BACOT, the spin, too tough. And
found his father in the stand.
He ends up on his backside. Davis gives it up for Black. The spin on Eddard and the finish off the
rim that I thought, from my perspective, were going down. This team hasn't gotten rattled in 3 NCAA games. They don't seem rattled right now. They're just not making shots until right then.
Hassan. Banks pushes tempo.
Carolina closing up the middle of the floor very nicely.
Nadefo looks for an opening. Ducks inside. Drumming. Banks it home.
Pick and roll, double team action.
That's a hedge from Banks. Kicking around the perimeter. Shot clock winding down. Manic fires. Bottom. What a smooth strike.
Either drive it straight through or kick it quickly.
Nadefo gets around Manic, plants, and scores.
Tonight.
Dump it inside. BACOT. They vacate the area. BACOT lost it. Strip away. Nadefo. Fight for it. Eddard hits the deck. Tie up. And possession error.
Fabulous. 6 already so far in this game.
Blank. Skip pass.
Wow.
It's blocked. Nadefo gets a piece of Manic's attempt. Break up. 2 of 4 from the field. 2 of 10 since. Shot clock winding down. Manic rimming in. Manic on target. Caleb Love coming off a 30-point performance in the win over UCLA. Manic. The same way here with North Carolina. They might be missing shots, but they're getting the shots they want.
They are, but I'm also sensing that the speed of North Carolina is bothering them a lot.
Love. Who's going to step forward for St. Peter's?
The guards have to get into the middle of the floor. There you go.
Dasher. Blocked by Black. Tremendous defender, all ACC defensive team.
Peters, this is their 4th game we've seen. We haven't seen guys close out on them as quickly as North Carolina is right now. This is a tremendous, just to free him up a little bit. Now he's got a little running room.
Switch it off. Kick. Black thought about it. Shot clock at 7. Lob it. Manic for 2. Banks had 27 in the upset over Kentucky overtime first round. He's been held scoreless so far. Nadefo has no Carolina. Not a great shot blocking team, but good team defense as we've seen on display in this first half.
Yeah, the double teams down low have been good.
Love got it.
It's an indicator that it's going to be a matchup defense.
Yep. And this was effective against Purdue.
Sure was.
Holloway switched to it. Love. Well, that'll break the zone every time. Book it.
Great, nice pass to the middle.
Roll, Nadefo, they swarm, corkscrew, no, tip in, and Drame. Some early numbers. BACOT's got 11 rebounds. St. K, Fusini, Drame.
North Carolina down the floor to get their best look. Pretty good transition defense by North Carolina.
Eddard, it's blocked, foul call.
So you get to the line. It's one of those tricks for an offensive.
Yep. The Jayhawks emerge.
Single digits by the time the half rolls around. That would be a win for St. Peter's at this point.
Davis, cross, lean, bucket, and the solid against UCLA. Jim, this has been a chore on the offensive end for St. Peter's.
And it's a tip of the hat to North Carolina for their defense.
Love, oh, what a play! Love, get. St. Peter's was hoping to cut this to 10 or under. UNC might get it to 20. Love, an air ball, caught by BACOT. Takes it strong, can't put it down. Another board, Moses Malone style. And
have field goals in this game so far.
Banks pull up is good.
When only 9 shots so far from 3, he's only made 1.
Nice cut. Oh! Banks couldn't finish it, and it's been that.
Just a little bit of a glance. Yep, just with his thumb, enough to stop that ball from being an inch higher for the dunk.
And on the tie-up, North Carolina takes over. Just over 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Look at this.
BACOT in for the big finish.
They know exactly what's saying.
Long rebound, tracked down. Dasher on the move. He's going to challenge to the rim with a left hand. Good to go.
Hooper took a shot.
And he's up on his feet.
He's a tough guy, but that was a pretty good shot.
Intercepted. R.J. Davis looking for the angle. Blocked by Nadefo. Not lost a game this year when leading at the half. They've got a 36-17 advantage. 20 seconds to go first half. Love. Banker is good.
Go at the basket using their power hands.
Banks. Follow. Goes. Just before the buzzer for Rupert. And Fia. Let's take a look at the Aflac first half stats. 23% from the field for St. Peter's. 1 of 11 from three-point territory. North Carolina.
Start things off.
129 all-time wins in the tournament for North Carolina. BACOT scores on the inside. Armando BACOT has now matched Tim Duncan. All-time double-doubles in a season, and 8 for St. Peter's has been neutralized. Lee and Banks. Lee, the dribble drive, denied by BACOT to advance to their 21st Final Four. Rebound, Drame. Gotta love when the music's how happy he was for this group and that has been the recurring theme for St. Peter's. Nothing easy around the rim.
Yeah, they're walling up the middle of the floor and the paint, doing a very good job of it. Look at this.
Backdoor, Manic. Rebound for UNC. They lead it 42-20. That's 8 boards off the offensive glass. BACOT, they can't stop him. Doug Eddert, he picks up his first. Manic, catch, fire, bottom. It's a 3.
But that's a pure stroke. One of the effective player for North Carolina, stretching people out at the 4 spot.
The cut, Drame adjusts for the Tar Heels, and just as I said it, he tosses it away. Banks, 2-on-1, Drame attack mode.
It's scoring by committee. Nice
Murray,
look.
the bounce, Drame's been the guy. Another, the baby hook.
Yeah, exactly. When sometimes the guards do it, Manic does it, you know, and BACOT is so good. Here he goes again.
And he's fouled. From Kentucky, Fardaw's AMAC firming numbers.
Yeah. Billy C put up some pretty good numbers.
15 matchup in the Elite Eight because a 15 seed has never made it to the Elite Eight. Manic got a 3. Didn't believe they were an 8 seed. They thought those blowout losses obviously hurt their resume when you get crushed by Kentucky. Nadefo on the rack attack.
And that's why the press doesn't bother them that much.
Shot clock at 5. Love makes his move. Crossover. Wow. Rejected. Nadefo. Mark of this second half.
Looking to get something going towards the basket with the right-handed dribbles.
Swing. Catch and fire. Drame nails
people in Jersey City and New Jersey, just like you touched on.
Love the drive, and it's blocked again. No.
Hey. Nice look.
Black drives in.
Oh. Payne up there at 13 for 26.
Worried about how the job, the exposure, the spotlight of the program that would affect his family, his wife and his kids. He told us when he played, the ridicule.
He's guarding him even when he moves without the basketball. We haven't seen him go backdoor at all.
Yeah, Black's a big-time defender. Nadefo erased by BACOT. Manic snaps it inside. BACOT is fouled. Live on the House of Highlights YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hey, you know what?
Plays in your future. Went on their run down by 25.
At North Carolina, just had plenty of trouble with it.
BACOT foul contact.
The drive to the basket to get something to go. And his 4 teams could beat any of those other 3 teams, right? So it's up for grabs.
Banks drains the pieces.
Here comes the high screen. Let's see what BACOT does this time. He goes to the free throw line or flares. Nope.
1%.
Comfortable at all.
North Carolina, no rush, down to 6. Davis contested. He cans it. Banks the fake. Another one. Banks it. Radar of Shaheen Holloway.
Watch out.
Step in, steal.
Good
Davis, give it up. Love upstairs. And he rocks the rim.
Averaging 21 assists over their last 3 games.
14 to
The ball up the floor, but also half court has been very good.
BACOT.
They went out there and Davis will get it, but this was a very unselfish pass for the finish.
Our game summary: North Carolina leading St. Peter's big, 63-38. 40 was meant to the community. Has been amazing. Drame finished.
So it's turned the city up and the state upside down with excitement, so it was fun to see.
BACOT gets the roll. The fan support has been a lot larger than Indianapolis in the opening weekend. Producer Craig Silver, our director Suzanne Smith, Shaheen Holloway. A lot of speculation that
For the most part, they understand where their shots are coming from in the flow of their half-court sets.
Davis blocked on the inside. BACOT is there. You know, it's interesting when you hear the matchup, North Carolina against St. Peter's in the NCAA tournament. Just assumed, oh, that would be a first-round matchup.
Exactly.
This is the Elite Eight, and it just shows you what St. Peter's has accomplished. Nadefo steps in for the steal, drives in, put 2 on the board.
For no belief in them.
Final minute 22 here in Philadelphia.
And, you know, when you do think about it, just with St. Peter's, Kentucky. It sure is.
It's all about family for
Yep.
North Carolina. And for St. Peter's, in for St. Peter's, jumper Murray, he cans it. North Carolina is heading back to the Final Four, setting up a dream matchup with Duke. And the fairy tale run for St. Peter's comes to an end.